Welcome to ICAway, a platform that has been making a positive difference since its founding in 2017. Over the years, we've had the pleasure of helping more than 200 international students land their first jobs in the United States. As you explore our website, you'll come across heartwarming testimonials and recognizable companies from students who have experienced success through our guidance. Now, let's take a moment to meet Kwan Segal, the founder of ICAway, and learn about the journey that led to the creation of this empowering platform. Join us as we share our story and demonstrate our commitment to supporting international students in their pursuit of career opportunities in the United States. My name is Christian Hirschbach. I'm currently a junior student at Lake Forest College in Illinois, just a little bit north of Chicago. I'm currently a communications major with minors in legal studies and journalism. Outside of that, I'm the editor for our sports section of our newspaper, The Stentor. I'm a writer for meninred97.com, which covers Chicago Fire soccer news, and most importantly, I'm an intern here at ICAway. So just to begin, I'm curious, what inspired you to create ICAway?
I can kickstart with, my personal journey. I'm the only one in the family that wanted to attend the international university and then join the corporate world. But to get to that point, it was not easy because my family members, they cannot provide any advice because they did not have that experience. So I need to look for opportunity outside my family to seek for mentorship. I finally got into top companies like BMW and Accenture and got my MBA from the top international university in Thailand. And life has a surprise in store for me, right? Finally, I came here to the US, and this is the biggest transition of my life, being here in the US. With my 10 plus years of work experience, it was so difficult to get into my first job in the US. I had to be my own coach. And throughout the searching and opportunity to, build my career, I wanted to create something like this for people who are like me that did not have a strong support system close to them. And they need someone and something that they can trust. So I created ICAway to be the place where international students and first generation immigrants can count on, can rely on. And we also have all the proven support system that already helped me succeed, right, to get to where I am, and at the same time helps so many students out there succeed to get to where they are as well. So that is my inspiration, just came from my own personal experience and also my own struggles finding my first job here in the US.
Sounds good. Moving on, how does your own personal experience individually help your students try to find jobs?
Because I am the first generation immigrant. And again, I did not have family members here, coming here all by myself, looking for my first job. It's really, teach me lots of things about building resilience, having growth mindset, right? And all of this personal experience helped me succeed in finding jobs. So my understanding about our unique barriers as the first generation immigrant in the US teach me how to share my empathy to this group of the students that also need the same help that I needed in the past. And at the same time, as someone who has to overcome lots of barriers like cultural and language barriers, I also know the ways to overcome those fears, right? And help motivate others to pursue to the point that they want to get to, which is to land their first job in the US.
Wonderful. So how did you brand yourself as a valuable potential hire despite not having work experience in the United States previously?
Yeah, it was not easy. Definitely not easy, especially when I first came here. There are lots of naysayers. With an MBA from back home and also 10 plus years of work experience, some people even told me that, Kwan, you needed to start from the bottom. You needed to start by being an intern. And I was like, oh my God, really? Do I really just need to start from the bottom, right? There was a time that I had lots of self-doubts too. But number one thing that I learned through my journey is to overcome that self-doubt. First, you need to believe in yourself and remove that self-doubt, right? And the next step is to understand what the market really look for. When I say market, I mean the job market. I mean the employer's, requirement. Like from that experience of me first removing my self-doubt and believe in myself, the next step for me is to understand what will be the goal that I want to pursue, what kind of industry and the job that I want to target. And from that point, I started by learning more about the employer's job requirements and translate my knowledge, experience, and abilities back home to the language that US employers understand. Like, for example, at that time, I decided to pursue a career as a human capital consultant, specializes in change management. Even though I had like diverse backgrounds in organizational design, change management, training and organization management, it would not help me to put everything on the paper. When I did some job market research and found that change management was in high demand at that point, I rebranded myself and put together, highlight my experience in change management on the paper. I even created an e-portfolio, like my personal website, to showcase that brand as a change manager. It doesn't matter where you gain that experience from, okay? Your technical skills that you have, the experience of solving the problems, no matter where you got that experience from, it's going to be valuable to any employers anywhere in the world. So in conclusion, remove your self-doubt and then understand what the employers really need and brand yourself to meet those needs.
Yeah, sounds good. I think that's something I've heard a lot too recently, as this was my first year doing an internship. Just having those experiences, whether they be good or bad, I think is something that's really important.
That's great. And you're on the right track right now. You want to become the expert in communication in the future, right? And right now you're accumulating all the experiences and tangible achievements from your internship and your volunteering opportunities. So great job.
Thank you. Moving on, what are some of your accomplishments with ICAway so far?
I got lots of questions like this. As a founder, as an entrepreneur, we are a small private practice. We don't aim to coach 1,000 students. If you combine all the numbers of the students that I presented to through webinars and all, definitely more than thousands of students. But numbers of students that I coach one-on-one is just a little bit above 200 students. So I can definitely share a little bit of remarkable accomplishments of our individual students, right? We have created significant impact to individual life. Like I can share some of the examples. A young undergraduate student from the Philippines that took the program 2 years before her graduation. And she's from a non-STEM degree. As an international student, actually looking for jobs with a non-STEM degree is quite challenging. But she took the initiative to join my program 2 years before her graduation. And she also came from the family that do not have the luxury of finance. She has a goal to be the breadwinner for her family. And you know what? Before her graduation, many months before her graduation, she received more than 3 job offers before her graduation. So that one of the examples of our individual impact to a student's life. I can share a few more as well. Like, for example, students that have 0 work experience, no real work experience at all. Like a Vietnamese student that I coached from DePaul. She enrolled in my program a few months before her graduation. And without any experience, you guess what? Finally, she got a job offer from Google, and the company offered her a 6-figure salary. And that's her first experience in her life, not even in the US, in her life. I also have a few more examples. Like we have a few students that enrolled in our program during their OPT, STEM OPT. For STEM OPT, you can change job anytime, right? During that 3 years. And the student was reaching her last year of STEM OPT. And she wanted to find the employer that want to sponsor her and transfer her academic experience to industry experience. So she finally found that job and that employer and finally changed her F1 status to H1B holder. So those are some examples of individual impact that we have made. But if you would like to get some data of the overall achievement that we have done, I can say that over 95% of our students who completed the training, within 3 weeks, they received interviews, or some even received job offers within 3 weeks after finishing the program. We have also compiled some salary data as well. Lots of students at ICAway receive salary twice the national average for college graduates. And that's not all, because we teach students to have the ability to build connections, to network, right? And to have a brand. So our ICAway alumni also reported further success, like, for example, getting promoted within a year of joining the company, or even get recruited by big tech companies or big companies, period, within like a year of starting their first job, let's say from the startup. So we see short-term and also long-term success of our student story. And I know that you asked me about the accomplishments. I don't want to just stop at the individual student story. I want to share that we also, really feel humbled of receiving trust from many colleges and universities around the US. Our career resources got featured at top organizations and colleges and universities like Johns Hopkins, like MIT Sloan School of Management, UW Madison, and small colleges like Wesleyan and more as well. So these are the accomplishments that we have received from the past 6 years. I cannot achieve this all by myself. So I really appreciate everyone that helps support our work here at ICAway.
Yeah, I think that humility too, especially for ICAway as kind of a group, is really appreciated by everyone who works in it, as well as people who are looking into using the service, because it doesn't really suggest that ICAway is looking to put itself on a pedestal to make money or things like that, but instead it's really there to try and help people find jobs and build their careers, which I think is great.
And you're part of it, Christian. You're part of this success too. Thank you so much.
No problem. So what exactly influenced you to create the mission and vision statements that ICAway currently holds?
Great question, right? So as a founder, definitely mission and vision is something that we need to create before we even form the organization. Why do we need to exist, right? And for our friends who might not know what is our mission and vision here, I can share a little bit. My vision is to become the most trusted career resources for international students in the US. And all of this mission and vision were shaped by several factors. And primary comes from my own challenges and the needs of international students in the US. Like all of us here, we are the first generation immigrant in the US. We might not have the family here, coming here all by myself. It's hard to place trust, right, on any services. So I want to create the ICAway to be the place that they can count on. They can place trust. And that is our ambitious mission and vision, because trust takes time. But we're getting there. Like today, I got a message from a few students that just got a job offer amidst this economic turmoil that we are in. And she just appreciates what we are doing for her. So we are more than just a career coach that help craft a resume. We are there joining their journey, looking for jobs and building their new life here in the US. So it requires trust and engagement from the students. So I hope that I answer your questions.
Yes, yes, you did. That was a great answer. Thank you. That being said, with ICAway working on more of a personal level, what exactly do you think sets you apart from other career coaches that work with international students in the United States?
First, I want to say kudos to many of, professionals out there that want to contribute to the international student community. You did an amazing work of trying to help this group of community because they need help the most. They are like underserved community here. But at the same time, there are also coaching services out there that realize that this group is a vulnerable group because they have lots of barriers. They need work sponsorship. So there are some services out there that set up in order to take advantage of this vulnerable group of international students. So I also want to point this out because for international students, you really need to be careful of utilizing these services. And again, I really appreciate people out there that want to do the same thing that I'm doing by contributing to the success of this unique international student job seeker. So your question about what set us apart from other career services out there, I'm sure that there are people that dedicating like I am. But if you compare to other services that try to make money from this group, I would say what sets us apart is our dedication and our honesty to help this community. And also my experience in human capital consulting also help them investigate the employer's needs. So my knowledge and my experience in looking for jobs myself and my past experience in human capital consulting also provide some unique services that maybe other founders that do not have the skills that I have may do something differently.
With that being said, recently we've seen, in terms of international student career coaching, is the use of AI driving the services. That's become pretty popular nowadays.
Right.
So do you think traditional services like ICAway will become second choice for students?
Such a great question. AI gives us lots of flexibility and increase, efficiency in everything that we do. I also use AI for my work as well, right? ChatGPT and all, but it will not replace our brain and our mindset. And I don't think AI can replace the services that ICAway is providing to the students. If a job seeker rely on an AI 100%, to help you find job, like let's say craft your resume, help you practice job interviews. Millions of people out there can utilize the same resource that you have, and you will not stand out. If you completely using AI to help you find job, you will be just one of the job seekers out there that have a polished resume, that have a polished answer to the job interview, but you will not be able to remove your self-doubts. Maybe you will not to be able to increase your confidence in job searching, right? Because job searching is not just a straight line. It's not just about having a resume and having an answer to job interview. It requires much more than that. And at ICAway, we help our students overcome lots of barriers that they have, increase their motivation, their confidence in job searching. So that's what we're here for. And I'd be surprised to see AI that can help us overcome our self-doubt and also, help motivate us to have that winning attitude. I'm looking forward to see that AI.
Yeah, I've seen it come up in everywhere from like jobs to at school and sports and everything. And I really think it lacks like the personality and humanity that like working one-on-one with another person has. And I think that's really important for especially this kind of field of work. Rounding out for my final question, just to conclude, if you could only give one piece of advice to an international job seeker struggling with the job process in the United States, what would it be?
One thing that I want to share with the students is that nothing great ever comes that easy. And you need to be your own hero.
Wonderful. Well, those are all the questions I have for you today. Thanks again, Kwan, for your time and your effort with answers. I really appreciate it, and I believe everyone who listens will as well, too.